These are the 3 gut health mistakes keeping you stuck in the binge cycle. If you've been working on your mindset, practicing self-compassion, maybe even seeing a therapist for your emotional eating, but you're still having those nights where you eat everything inside and can't seem to stop, well, it could be that your gut might be sabotaging your progress. Me too, I thought I had my emotional eating figured out. I'd done the mindset work, I understood my triggers, I had the coping strategies, but I was still constantly bloated, craving sugar by 3 p.m. and finding myself in the kitchen late at night eating things I didn't even want. It was during my advanced gut health certification at IIN that I learned something that completely changed how I approach binge eating recovery. The research showed me that over 90% of your serotonin, so your feel-good neurotransmitter, is actually made inside your gut and not your brain, which means if your gut isn't healthy, your mood, your cravings, and relationship with food will suffer. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 3 gut health mistakes that keep you trapped in the binge cycle. I will also discuss why some of your healthy habits might be backfiring and exactly what to do instead to heal your gut and stop those cravings for good. But first, let me explain why your gut health might be the missing piece in your binge eating recovery. Here's what most people don't understand about binge eating. Your gut and your brain are in constant communication. They're connected through something called the vagus nerve. Think of it like a superhighway of information between your gut and your brain. So your gut is literally sending signals to your brain constantly about what you need. When your gut is healthy, it sends clear signals like we're satisfied, we need nutrients, we're doing well. However, when your gut is imbalanced, it can send confusing signals related to hunger and food cravings. Instead of feeling satisfied after eating, you might experience persistent hunger, strong cravings for sugar, or a general sense that something is off with your digestive system. Simply put, your gut sends chaotic signals like, we need sugar now, we are still hungry, something is wrong. Then beside that point, your gut makes most of your mood-regulating chemicals as we just touched on. So over 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. About 50% of dopamine is made there too. So these chemicals that help you feel calm, satisfied, and in control around food are all made in the gut. So when your gut is struggling and can't make these properly, you feel anxious, unsatisfied, and out of control, which then may lead to your binge eating. And it's not only the production of them that can struggle, even the absorption and how the feel-good hormones are utilized will be impaired. So be it because of inflammation in your gut, stress, or any other reason. Then your gut bacteria also influences your cravings. You have trillions of bacteria in your gut, and they literally vote on what you should eat. So different bacteria thrive on different foods, and they can send signals to your brain influencing what you crave. Harmful bacteria most often crave sugar and processed foods, whereas the beneficial bacteria prefer fiber and nutrients. So when the harmful bacteria outnumber the good ones, they hijack your cravings. And now to conclude this section or this point, inflammation in your gut creates inflammation in your brain. So gut inflammation leads to brain fog, mood swings, and poor decision-making around food. It also disrupts the signals between your gut and brain, making it harder to recognize those hunger and fullness cues. And this is why you can heal your mindset around food, but still struggle with cravings if your gut isn't healthy. Now let's finally get into those mistakes. Mistake number 1, eating the same healthy foods every day. This was actually me for so many years, and I saw it in previous clients as well. You find a few safe, healthy foods that you eat on repeat, or you follow some kind of fitness, bodybuilding, whatever kind of influencer-inspired plan. So the same green smoothie every morning, the same salad for lunch, the same grilled chicken and vegetables for dinner. So let's first discuss why this backfires. First up, you're starving your gut bacteria. Your gut bacteria are like a diverse ecosystem. They need variety to thrive. Because as we just learned, different bacteria need different foods, so to say. So when you eat the same foods every day, you're only feeding a few types of bacteria, and the rest start to die off, creating an imbalanced microbiome. Then you may also develop nutrient deficiencies. Even healthy foods don't contain every single nutrient your body needs, And when you're deficient in key nutrients like vitamin B or magnesium, your body creates intense cravings to try to get what it's missing. Then lastly, your gut gets bored and stops working efficiently. Your digestive system adapts to processing the same foods over and over again, so it becomes less effective. This then can lead to poor nutrient absorption, even from healthy foods. So if you can relate to this, you might notice yourself eating the same perfect meals but still feeling unsatisfied, having intense cravings for foods that aren't part of your usual routine, feeling like you need to eat more and more to feel full, having digestive issues even though you're eating clean. So what you can do instead is to aim for a variety of different plant foods per week. This includes fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, nuts, seeds, legumes. Even adding in different herbs to your usual meals counts. Then rotate your proteins and healthy fats. Don't just eat chicken all the time. Try fish, eggs, beans, or different kinds of nuts and seeds. And if you are like me and don't eat meat or not really eat meat, make sure to vary between those plant-based sources. Then lastly, another tip is to eat seasonally when possible. This naturally provides you with variety and supports your body's changing needs. Then mistake number 2, eating healthy foods that trigger inflammation. This one was huge for me. I was eating foods that I thought were healthy, but they were actually inflaming my gut and driving my cravings. So typical hidden inflammatory foods can be raw vegetables when your digestion is already compromised. So raw kale, broccoli, any other cruciferous vegetable or salads. So they are healthy, yes, but only if you can digest them. But if your gut is already inflamed, raw vegetables can potentially be hard to break down and may cause even more irritation. Then another one is too much fiber too fast. Suddenly adding tons of fiber because you learn how important fiber is can overwhelm an already damaged gut. It can cause bloating, gas, and actually feed harmful bacteria if you have an overgrowth. Then another one is healthy foods that you're actually sensitive to. Even nutritious foods like eggs, nuts, or tomatoes can trigger inflammation if you are sensitive to them. Besides being lactose intolerant, I, for example, started to notice that my gut is sensitive to pineapple. Whenever I ate some pineapple, I just didn't feel good afterwards and truly in my stomach, in my gut. So that's how I noticed, for example, that I have trouble digesting pineapple. So these sensitivities often develop when your gut lining is already damaged. And on that note, I want to remind you of the importance of listening to your own bodies. Sometimes we may see some people swear by certain foods, and yeah, they may work for them, but they may not work for you or me. We are all so different, and so is what works for us. One person's food is another person's poison, so always remember that. Now, if you can relate to this mistake, you might notice yourself feeling bloated after eating salads or vegetables, getting more cravings after eating perfectly, digestive discomfort even when eating clean, especially after certain foods, and feeling like certain healthy foods don't agree with you. So what you can do instead is to start with easily digestible foods. Cooked vegetables are easier on your inflamed gut than raw ones. Well-cooked grains and proteins are gentler than raw and undercooked foods. Soups and stews provide nutrients in an easy-to-digest form. Then identify your trigger foods. Keep a food and symptom diary for, let's say, 2 weeks. Notice which foods constantly cause bloating, cravings, or mood changes. And consider an elimination diet to identify sensitivities. Then heal before you optimize. This is very important. Focus on gut healing foods before adding in lots of fiber and raw foods and things that seem like a magical cure promoted by anybody online. And really important is to prioritize anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, ginger, berries, omega-3 rich fish, and also make sure to give your gut time to heal before challenging it with difficult to digest foods. Mistake number 3, intermittent fasting with a damaged gut. Intermittent fasting can be beneficial for some people, more likely to be men than women due to hormones and all of that. But yeah, if your gut is already compromised, it can make everything worse. Why fasting backfires with gut issues? It increases stress on an already stressed system. Fasting is a stressor. it triggers cortisol release. So if your gut is inflamed, adding more stress can worsen that inflammation. Your body needs consistent nourishment to heal and not more restriction. Then it can worsen blood sugar imbalances. When your gut already can't properly regulate blood sugar, fasting creates bigger spikes and crashes. This leads to intense cravings and binge episodes when you do eat. Then it may disrupt your gut bacteria. Your beneficial bacteria need regular feeding to thrive, and long fasting periods can allow harmful bacteria to overgrow. However, all that being said, some recent limited studies have shown that fasting may improve the gut microbiota, the population of the bacteria you have in your gut, but those researchers themselves concluded that more research is required to validate those findings and clarify whether the compositional changes of the bacteria would even be beneficial to human health. So all that being said, the point here goes for intermittent fasting with an already damaged gut. Now moving on, intermittent fasting can increase anxiety and mood swings. Remember, your gut makes most of your serotonin, your feel-good hormone, and when you're not eating regularly, serotonin production can become erratic. And if that is a habit, if intermittent fasting is a habit that you do, but it might not actually be beneficial for you, then you might notice yourself feeling more anxious during fasting periods, having intense cravings and overeating when you break your fast, struggling with worsening digestive symptoms, having irregular periods or hormone imbalances, feeling like fasting makes your relationship with food worse and not better. So what you can do instead is to focus on regular nourishing meals. Eat every 3 to 4 hours to keep blood sugar stable. Include protein and healthy fats at every meal. And really important, don't skip breakfast. Your gut bacteria are most active in the morning. Then practice gentle meal timing. If you want to try time-restricted eating, start with a 12-hour window, so maybe from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And really important is to listen to your body. So if you feel worse, stop. Then prioritize your gut healing over weight loss tactics and support your circadian rhythm naturally. So eat your largest meals earlier in the day when digestion is the strongest. Have lighter meals 2-3 hours before bed and stay consistent with meal timing to support your gut bacteria's natural rhythm. By the time I started my advanced training in gut health at IIN, I'd already made huge progress with binge eating. I understood my emotional triggers, I had coping strategies. The intense binge episodes had mostly stopped, but I was still dealing with that constant bloating and afternoon sugar cravings and this underlying feeling of never being quite satisfied with my meals. And it was luckily then that I learned about that gut-brain connection and I realized that this might be the missing piece. So I decided to apply what I was learning to my own healing, pretty much everything that I've been teaching you in this video, and I started diversifying my healthy diet beyond the same healthy foods. I began eating fermented foods and focused on gut healing nutrients. I stopped the habits that were unknowingly damaging my gut, and after a few months everything clicked into place. My bloating disappeared, my energy became more consistent, and those lingering cravings finally started to fade away. But here's what surprised me the most. I felt satisfied after meals for the first time in years, not just physically full, but genuinely content and at peace with food. That is when I realized healing my relationship with food was just the first step. Healing my gut was what made that progress stick and feel effortless. As always, here's your action plan, so the exact approach that works broken into manageable steps. So day one, before you fully dive in, first assess your current habits. Are you constantly eating the same meals or ingredients? Are you eating foods that constantly cause you bloating or discomfort? Note them down. Are you intermittent fasting while struggling with cravings? Your action plan, weeks 1 to 2, the foundation phase. Eat 3 regular meals plus snacks, so no skipping or fasting. Include protein and healthy fats at every meal. Then start a food and symptom diary to identify patterns, meaning notice which foods constantly cause bloating, cravings, or mood changes. Then weeks 3 to 4, the healing phase. Temporarily eliminate your top 1-2 trigger foods and add in gut healing foods like bone broth or collagen. Add in fermented foods gradually, so start with small amounts. Eat anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, ginger, berries, omega-3 rich fish. Focus on easily digestible cooked foods rather than raw vegetables. Then weeks 5 to 8, so basically month 2, the restoration phase. Continue diversifying your plant foods. Add targeted probiotics if needed. So work with a healthcare practitioner and maybe first test your gut health with a stool sample, for example, and slowly reintroduce limited foods to test the actual tolerance that you have. And of course, maintain consistent meal timing, include prebiotic foods to feed your gut bacteria. And just a reminder for all the phases, eat regularly, don't skip meals, include protein and healthy fats at every meal, stay hydrated, get enough sleep because your gut repairs itself during the night, and truly manage stress because chronic stress is one of the biggest gut disruptors. And most importantly, be patient. Gut healing takes 3 to 6 months for most people. And when you heal your gut the right way, here's what happens. Your cravings naturally decrease. Your gut bacteria stops demanding sugar and processed foods. Your blood sugar stabilizes, reducing intense hunger. You feel satisfied after meals instead of constantly wanting more. And your mood improves, so your gut can properly make serotonin and other mood-regulating chemicals. You feel calmer and more in control around food. Anxiety and depression symptoms often improve as well. Then your energy stabilizes. You stop experiencing the afternoon crashes that lead to sugar cravings. Your sleep improves, which further supports your gut healing. You have consistent energy throughout the day. And of course, by all of this, your digestion improves as well. So bloating, gas, digestive comfort in itself decrease. You can eat a wider variety of foods without symptoms. Your body can properly absorb the nutrients from food. And lastly, your relationship with food transforms. You can trust your hunger and fullness cues again. Food stops feeling like the enemy. Binge eating episodes become rare because your body feels nourished and satisfied. So if you've been struggling with binge eating despite working on your mindset, if you're doing all the right things but still feeling out of control around food, if you suspect your gut health might be the missing piece, you're probably right. Healing your gut isn't just about digestion, it's about healing your entire relationship with food. And if overeating is something you truly struggle with, I've created a free training to help you stop nighttime overeating, where I share with you my 90-second method to overcome your cravings in the moment. So grab the training down in the description below, it's completely free. And if this video helped you understand why your healthy habits might be backfiring, please hit that like and subscribe button, maybe even the bell, so that you don't miss any future video. And drop a comment below and let me know, which one of these gut health mistakes have you been making? Remember, your body isn't broken. Your gut just needs the right support to heal. And when your gut heals, your relationship with food can finally heal too. Lots of love, and I will see you in the next video.